And here is Ezekiel chapter 9. So verse 1, a vision whereby is showed the preservation of some, 5, and the destruction of the rest. 8, God cannot be entreated for them. He cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. And behold, 6 men came from the way of the higher gate, which lieth toward the north, and every man a slaughter weapon in his hand. And one man among them was clothed with linen, with a writer's inkhorn by his side. And they went in and stood beside the brazen altar. And the glory of the God of Israel was gone up from the cherub whereupon he was, to the threshold of the house. And he called to the man clothed with linen, which had the writer's inkhorn by his side. And Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark, or mark a mark, upon the foreheads of the men that sigh, and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And I want to make a quick jump to Revelation 9:4. I was going to mention it, but I just realized I can actually go ahead and read it. So Revelation chapter 9, verse 4. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. So it's an interesting coincidence. You have Ezekiel 9:4 and Revelation 9:4. And they seem to be very much related to me, at least. Verse 5. And to the others he said, in mine hearing, or in mine ears, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. And he said unto them, defile the house, and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And they went forth, and slew in the city. And it came to pass, while they were slaying them, and I was left, that I fell upon my face, and cried, and said, ah, Lord God, wilt thou destroy all the residue of the people in thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem? By the way, I want to give you a little visual. And it says, I fell upon my face. I'm going to say, like this. So again, verse 8, and it came to pass while they were slaying them, and I was left, that I fell upon my face and cried and said, ah, Lord Jehovah, wilt thou destroy all the residue of Israel in thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem? Then said he unto me, the iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceeding great, and the land is full of blood, or filled with blood, and the city full of perverseness, or resting of judgment. For they say, Yahweh hath forsaken the earth, Yahweh seeth not. And as for me also, mine eyes shall not spare. Neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their head. And behold, the man clothed with linen, which had the inkhorn by his side, reported the matter, or returned the word, saying, I have done as thou hast commanded me. So, Canadians in particular, we have got to stop giving up. And I mean it. We have got to stop giving up. Some of us have just given up. And I can understand why we've done it. But take heed. By the way, that's one of the most horrific chapters in the Bible, I know. One of the most horrific chapters imaginable. It's one of the reasons some people would try to discredit the Bible and say, it's no good. And I say, well, we're no good. Because we in Canada are so guilty of preborn infant sacrifice, or son and daughter sacrifice, SADS, SADS, quote-unquote abortion, quote-unquote a woman's right to choose the wrong choice, to have her own son or daughter sacrificed right out from inside of her. And yet I want to read verse 4 one last time. And the Lord, or Yahweh, said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Don't follow the multitude to do evil. If the multitude no longer cares about preborn infant sacrifice, you make sure you're one of the men with the mark on his forehead that you still care. And by the way, some of you are pro-life, but you don't understand why I keep trying to tell you that the earth is flat. Well, the earth being flat and being pro-life should go hand in hand. And if you don't understand why that is, let me show you one more time. It's pretty easy. Pretty simple stuff, people. You can climb to the top of a hill, the top of a mountain, and just do your panoramic view and see for yourself that it's flat, not curved. And then you can look up in the sky and see that the sun is local because it's right here, and you can see that with your eyes. And let me do the measurement again. It's a very simple measurement. Okay, so here we go. Here's my thumb. Here's my finger, okay? From the thumb to the finger, there's no way that can be 93 million miles away. So from my thumb to my finger is not 93 million miles. That's thousands of miles. Any reasonable person should be able to figure that out. Go ahead, do the math. Figure out how far 93 million miles would be. So, we live in Canada. So from one coast of Canada to the other, that's thousands of miles. And from the earth to the sun is also thousands of miles. For that sun to be 93 million miles away from us, it has nowhere to go. Where's it going to go? It can't go away. It just so doesn't add up. And as I was reading in Ezekiel 8, sun worship is serious abomination. It's one of the reasons we are so lost. and that we have become so wicked as to sacrifice our sons and daughters. Anyway, that's my heart. Thanks for listening.